Doo, doo.
Do 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 do. Oh, I think we're live, Andy.
Hey, hi, Jeanette. Yes, I do believe my screen says it's okay. We're now
Yes,
live. Yes,
yes, it is. So special weekend for us up here for your Canadian followers as I hijack your page again. That
yes,
is Thanksgiving long weekend.
yes. Thanksgiving and lots of things happening in the Fort Langley area. But yeah, it's going to be a beautiful weekend. We're looking forward to
Yes.
a lot of exciting things happening.
I heard on the news, 18, 19 degrees, bright sun, shiny. It's going to be amazing. So as we get started, Andy, being it's Thanksgiving, and I'm going to do this, oh, let's say this cliche
Yeah.
question. What are you grateful for? You know, you go around the dining room table or wherever you choose to eat your Thanksgiving meal, and you say, what are you grateful for?
And it came up. I was actually interviewed by the Langley Advance about Fort Langley, and I think I want to frame it more in the terms of Langley, and that
Hmm.
is I'm grateful for the opportunities that the township has given me. I've been here for 30 plus years. We've raised our family. We have had a lifestyle that I think has been marvelous. My kids have had great schooling. They're off on now to their own adventures, but it's just that Langley gave me back so much in terms of what you could do in the community, what it offers you in the community. Yeah, I even look at it that I became a firefighter with the township of Langley, paid call for 20 years, and that was something that they gave me because I learned a hell of a lot there.
Yeah. And I'm going to say I'm grateful for the bounty of the various businesses, services that is in the Langley. Like, you live in Fort Langley. I live about 25 minutes away. We're all living you live in Fort Langley, the township, and I'm
Mhm.
about 20 minutes, 30 minutes away on the other side. And the bounty of living near the blueberries and the raspberry bushes and the farms, and I can go to a cider place or a craft brewery or a winery.
JD
Um,
Farms,
yeah,
turkeys.
JD Farms is 7 minutes away from my house. I've never
Yep,
timed it. Yes, I have, in order to get my turkey. So
I
the bounty and the diversity of the businesses and how they support our community. That's what I'm so when I go out and do an ask on behalf of, the Fort Langley Jazz and Arts Festival or the Seroptimists of the Langleys, I get a resounding yes. I would say 99.5% of the time. So that's what I'm grateful for.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, it is a whole community. We are have many integral parts. We've got fantastic downtown shopping. We've got rural. We've got you can buy. I buy my beef from the Grant Farm, which is like just on the other side of Fort Langley. We buy our
Mm.
turkeys from JD Farm. We buy sausages there. We go to Benetti Meats. I've got local grown pears, local grown Brussels sprouts for our turkey dinner.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's great. It's wonderful to be part of that. You don't have to walk down to Whole Foods. It's all here in front of
Hmm.
you. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of all this incredibleness about the township and the city of Langley, just why do you want to live here based upon the numbers you're about to show us?
Yeah,
Am I saying
well, I
right?
mean, yeah, we can take a look at the numbers. And I will just share my screen and off we go. I do want to say that I think maybe because of the election, things have been a little bit slower in the last 2 or 3 weeks. These are September numbers, but I do also want to preface that right after Labor Day, I was really busy, but it has slowed down a bit, and but I'm expecting that we'll see a little bit of a pickup in the next couple of weeks after the election and the next interest rate announcement. However, for the month of September, our supply of new inventory in September was 3,352 listings. That was a 21% increase from August, for a total of 2,778. and a 17% increase compared to last year, September. Sales were down by 8% in August and more than 10% down over September 2023, with a total of 982 sales. And this is the second slowest month in a decade.
Wow.
Sales have been very, very quiet throughout the Fraser Valley. And as I said, there's a lot of stuff going on right now, a lot of uncertainty, and people are holding back. However, I think there's a little bit of pent-up demand here. Total inventory was 9,045. That's up 5% from August 2024 and 39% higher than last year, September. That is incredible. We usually have about 7,000 listings on the board, and now it's up to 9,000. So that is a huge number. It could be, that the sales are down, but also too, we do have a lot of new construction going on, yeah, especially
Mm.
in Langley.
Mhm.
So if we put those numbers into a graph, a little bit easier to see, that you can see that in September, here's our listings, active listings with 3,352 compared to the 982 sales. That's, several months of inventory there. Also, the inventory is way over from August and also from last year, whereas the sales are relatively the same, down a little bit, but
Mhm.
not as significant as the increase in inventory.
Mhm.
Now, if we move over to our months of inventory, and this is where we can kind of look at if we're in a buyer's market or a seller's market or even a balanced market. And we've definitely come out of the balanced market. We're getting into 8.1, 9.2 months of inventory for the Fraser Valley, and that puts us into a buyer's market. So if you're thinking about buying, don't wait too long because this can turn around pretty quickly. Like you can look at this graph here.
Mhm.
2 months, we went from a balanced right down into heavy seller's market.
So Andy, just before you go forward, you know me, I start thinking these questions.
Yes.
So knowing this, I better be sharp with my pricing. I better be ready to, do an open house or let people come through. I got to make sure that my inventory, my house that's out there is well looked after, clean, all ready to stage, like to make you shine because of the amount of inventory on there. You got to make sure you are like your house is going to be the house because of the amount of inventory. Am I right? Wrong? In between.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. If you're putting your home up to sale, it better be not only do you need to be priced correctly if you're looking for a sale at this time, but you also have to be able to present your home in a manner that is going to be appealing to buyers and that they feel comfortable walking through your home, that it's a product that's being prepared for the buyers and that they feel they don't need to think, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that.
Mm.
That the home looks like it's been well looked after. That's really, really important. I was just looking at this graph here, and if you are anything of a graph person, if you just look at that line there, how it
Mm.
underscores that you could have thought, well, inventory is going to increase. We've got some spikes here, but those are due to COVID. But this underlying baseline is what a graph will tell you lots. So we're kind of hitting a peak here, and what's next, we will see. So our inventory for September, if we break it down into categories of apartments, townhomes, and detached, town apartments, condos are now into buyer inventory. Townhomes and are still very much below the balance market in a seller's realm. And then if we look at the detached homes here, this is the big jump here from 8.6 to 10.4, and detached homes are solidly in a buyer's market. And then if we look at our pricing, you can see how this is affecting pricing with the detached. We've had, this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the fifth month of decline in terms of pricing. Same with detached townhomes and condos, just basically staying the same. Not as big of a change here as the detached, and that has to do with affordability. Also, to a lot of people that are looking at detached homes, I think the most crucial question at that time is, is there a suite? And if there's no suite, can I put one in? Because that this is
Mm.
part of the affordability question.
And I think the attractiveness of an apartment, because I, follow you on social, that when you've got some condos that are up listed, being listed, the amenities. I think as say a family or a young couple, knowing that there's a gym, knowing that there's a rec room, knowing that there's maybe a theater room, you're close to shopping and stuff like that, that makes, I gotta tell you, a condo pretty darn toot and attractive to move into. Is I don't have to mow lawns. I don't have to. I can go to the gym. I can go have a coffee out in the patio.
Yeah.
I I can see why an apartment is kind of staying true to am I right or am I wrong on that? Is that what you're saying?
I think you're looking more at the townhouse for that because
Mm,
if you have children, you need a little bit of a backyard so that you
right,
can, or a downstairs, so that you can get them out of your hair.
right.
But yeah, but amenities are important, and parks and recreational close by, within walking distance is super important. And one of the things that we're seeing in Langley is this huge push to build more and more condos. And I've actually talked to some of the developers, and they're kind of resisting it because they're thinking that condos might be going into a oversupply,
Mm,
as families want to still have their own door that comes from the outside, their own garage, and also maybe a bit of a play area in the backyard, so that it kind of, it's like a detached home, but it's a lot cheaper and there's less
mm,
maintenance because, the outside is all looked after by the strata.
right, right.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so Township of Langley, you can see here, or Langley, I should say, City of Langley too. We're still in a balanced market with detached homes, whereas in Fraser Valley, we're way up in the buyers section. Townhomes, look at this, we're still technically in a seller's market, and same with condos. We're just approaching a balanced market. So things are, Langley has proven itself over and over and over again as a very good place to put your money if you want to move and purchase a home. It has outperformed all the other municipalities. And then of course, looking at pricing, as in the whole trend, we're down from last month. Last month was a an up month, so it's just kind of going up, down, up, down, up, down in terms of the town HPI. That's the home price index from the Fraser Valley Real Estate Board. And then of course, townhomes basically the same, and condos also too, kind of flat, maybe a little bit of a downstroke, but it was down, it was up, it was down. So this is, we're kind of seeing this fluctuation of market price that is not really changing by much, but it's a good time to buy. You can find some great deals out there, and that's
Absolutely.
it.
Well, just that last slide that you just showed, I
Yeah.
was looking back a year ago. Like if you take a look at the August 23rd, 1638
Yes.
to a year 1633 to the townhouse 856 to a year later 873. So that's gone up a little bit. The apartment has kind of stayed the same. So this begs the question again is if everybody is about the same price, then you really got to look special. Like you
Well,
really got to, like if I go into a store and everything is the same price, I want to make sure like the features, the benefits, the what that place is going to offer me, all that extra stuff it's got to be a huge selling feature if I'm going to get the same price as my next door neighbor that we
yeah.
have the same house.
You have to provide value when you're selling your home, and you have to shine. And it doesn't take a lot, because if everything is all equal in terms of
Mhm.
its own realtor.ca and everything else, that if you shine but just that little bit, like just a thumb sticking out on a
Yeah.
flat plane, that thumb is going to be hugely obvious. And so it doesn't take a lot to shine. It's just a little bit of effort, and it's teamwork between the seller and the realtor, and so we work as a team to do that, and I've had some great success with that.
Yeah, and also the other side, that when you're working with a buyer, that again, they have all their little ducks in a row, is I've got my financing, I've got it like ready to go, I've got my mover, because I know the one property that you had on McBride, what, it was less than a month. So that person that moved into there, they had to go, okay, I'm motivated, I want to move there, I got everything in a row, take my offer, I'm going
Yeah.
to get in there first.
Yes. Yeah. You have to have your, and there's a difference between a mortgage approval and a rate guarantee. And a lot of people just talk to their bank and the bank says, oh yeah, you're good. And we can give you this rate, but that's not really an approval. What you need to do is go through a bit of a process. Rita Cousins, the mortgage broker I work with, she would take your application. She would give you an approval, and you can bank on that you know you're going to be able to have your financing in order, and so that if the right opportunity comes up, you're not delaying or writing an offer that you're unsure that you can actually afford. And I just went through that with another client who I you know she's self-employed, she's going through a few things, and I kept on telling her, get yourself pre-approved, get that approval in place. And you know, we went to look at something, and she says, you know, I got the pre-approval this morning, and I can't afford this place.
Mm.
Now I know where I should be looking. So it focuses everything into what you can and cannot do, and it's so important to be pre-approved. Yeah, my
So
rant for
that
today.
leads me to the next question. In order for your turkey dinner to shine this weekend, what do you need to make sure that you pre-approve that you get your bounty that comes from the Fort Langley area?
What do I need to pre-approve for?
Pre-approve that's going to close down basically Fort Langley tomorrow. That
Well,
you want to make
yes,
sure you line
yes.
up to get your bag of fill in the blank.
Uh, Cranberries. That's
Yes,
yes, yes. Tomorrow is the Cranberry Festival in the fort. 40, 50,000 people will be here.
especially
It's
with the
going to
weather.
be mayhem. It's going to be a beautiful day. And I think we're coming up to 30 years of the
Wow.
Cranberry. But yeah, this is the 29th. I know that personally, I was very much involved in the first 5 years. I actually the second, third, and fourth year, I was the person that ran it and tried to make sure that it was stayed, gave it some feet, and now it's just a tremendous uh, festival that people come out from all over the Fraser Valley and Vancouver.
It's such a joy, and always a surprise when I come down to 64th. I'm actually heading to the Bog Riverside Cranberry Farm today to pick up a gift basket for a fundraiser I'm doing with Night Shift. And you come down that hill to the flats and you see that red. The flow when they float the fields and fill
Yeah,
the
yeah,
fields, and
yeah,
seeing it's like, fall is gorgeous, and seeing all those cranberries, and they're going to be so enjoyed by so many people in the Lower Mainland and beyond, because I
yeah,
know
yeah.
our cranberries get shipped all across Canada.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, come on out to Fort Langley tomorrow, and get your bag of cranberries.
Absolutely. So we will see in a month after our
Yeah.
election happens. After see what's happening, because I
After
think.
the election and after the interest rate announcement
Yeah.
in October, I think it's the 23rd. Don't hold me to that date, but it's I think it's the last week of October, and we're all expecting to see another rate cut.
Yes, and October the 19th, we're just going to remind everybody out there that your BC followers,
Yes.
October the 19th, go to the polls. Or advanced polls are open now till the 13th. They close, of course, for Thanksgiving on Monday, but then they're back open on the 15th and 16th. So if you don't want to line up on next Saturday, get out and do your advanced polls. So if you're over the age of 18, you got to vote. You got to vote.
BC needs you to vote.
On that note, I'm going to say goodbye.
Okay, take care. Bye bye.